Rookie ladder, our last segment of the show. Who's your top 5? And we can kind of breeze by it a little bit or maybe spend some time on it. Who's your top 5? I'm curious to know. Riv, who's your top 5? Go from 5 to 1.
5 to 1.
Or you can go to 1 to 5 because I think, especially with this, 1, 2, 3 should be very easy.
Yeah, I think number 1 should be Evan Mobley. Clearly, I think not only has he been the most impactful rookie, but they're winning. I think winning. I think like for rookies, most of the time they come into situations and it's supposed to be a losing season. But I think when you're contributing that much to a winning team, an actual playoff team, that should just put you over the top for me. Mm-hmm. So as long as Evan Mobley and Cleveland stay around that area, I think he'll unanimously win the Rookie of the Year. But right behind him is Scotty Barnes. I think him, even though Pascal Siakam has come back, Fred VanVleet has improved his role. He hasn't had to do too much, but he's still been one of their best defenders. He's still been a key playmaker for them. Like, he's making passes out the pocket that you wouldn't even understand as a rookie. And I think for him, like I said, same thing for Evan Mobley. Toronto climbing back up, them getting healthy and beating the right teams at the right time, because they were healthy and teams are beating on them. So now when teams aren't healthy, they doing the same thing back to those teams. So I think that them being a playoff team puts Scotty up there for me. And then I don't know how to say his first name, so I don't want
Franz.
Wagner. Thank you guys. Yeah, he's just been. He would be 1 if all these teams were trash. Honest to God, he would be 1. But like I said, winning matters. He's been the most consistent rookie all year. In my opinion, he's been the best perimeter defending rookie all year because of his versatility, the fact that he can switch on any bigs, wings, guards. It doesn't really matter. His shooting has been solid for them. His ball handling has been. I didn't think he would be that much because at Michigan, he didn't show all this. He was a rotational player at Michigan. Just a glue. Jack of all trades type of guy, but now he's doing it all. So for me, he's at 3. And then 4, like I said, Cade Cunningham. He was going to catch up. Everybody knew that. He just needed a couple games under his belt. The scoring has been as advertised. The only thing I would say with him is he just needs to get his handles up. But other than that, the scoring has been advertised. Even with Kenley Hayes playing as bad as he is and Detroit being horrible, Cade is still able to do what he does on offense. So for me, Cade is at 4. And then at 5, I got your boy Josh Giddey. Josh Giddey, he's been the best playmaker on Oklahoma City Thunder. The playmaking has been advertised. The rebounding is there. He's basically, the scoring hasn't officially caught up, but he's doing basically everything for them. He's been a solid defender for them as a rookie, and his impact has been shown. So I think for Josh Giddey, he has to be a 5. It was between him and Jalen Green, but I think in terms of impact, for Josh Giddey, when he plays, you can see the energy is infectious, and he's been doing his thing for Oklahoma City. He definitely helps SGA out when it comes to that playmaking.
I don't have Cade or Jalen Green in my top 5.
Wow.
I don't.
Cade, no. Okay.
Yeah,
Cade
they're not
crazy.
in my top 5.
Cade is insane.
Evan Mobley is 1 for me. He's averaging 15 and 8 with 2 blocks, basically, and he's part of a playoff team right now. So him, for me, is 1. I have Franz Wagner above Scotty Barnes. Scotty Barnes his play has dipped as of recently. Franz Wagner is averaging 16, 5, and 3, and he's been efficient. Franz Wagner has been a surprise for me this year. I viewed him as a utility role player, but he has exceeded my expectations. And granted, this is a bad team. Even Michael Carter-Williams put up great numbers his rookie season on a bad team. So maybe Franz Wagner still ends up being a role player like I thought he was going to be. But right now, he's shown a lot of flashes that he can be more than that. 3 is Scotty Barnes. I think that's pretty obvious. He's averaging 15, 8, and 3.5. It's just he's been on a recent slump. I think his past 5 games, he's averaged less than 10 points. Because of that, he dropped down to 3. 4 is Josh Giddey. The fact that you had Cade over Josh Giddey is just a crime, in my opinion. It's not even close between those two right now, at least.
The scoring, defense.
Josh Giddey's last 5 games.
Get mad about this.
Josh Giddey's last 5 games, he's averaged 14.4 points per game, 7 rebounds, 7 assists, shooting 49% from the field and 36% from 3. I'd say these last 5 games is a pretty good sample size. He's the youngest player ever to record a triple-double. Will Cade be better in the long run? Possibly. But Josh Giddey right now is having a better rookie season, in my opinion. Cade has just been way too inefficient for me to put him in the top 5, shooting 39% from the field, 32% from 3.
Josh Giddey's been more inefficient on the year.
Not in the last 5 games.
I'd rather
I looked at Cade's last 5 games, still inefficient. So I'm not.
They've both been up and down.
And number 5, I feel like I'm the only one that's going to mention him, and I'm glad I'm going to mention him. It's Herb Jones.
Good, man.
Herb Jones is the fifth guy.
That's not a bad guy.
Bravo. Yeah.
Herb Jones in his last 10 games is averaging 13.7 points per game, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, shooting 52% from the field. Everybody knocked on his three, said he couldn't shoot.
In them.
Shooting 43% from three on 3 attempts per game in his last 10. The Pelicans are on a little bit of a win streak, 2-game win streak. They have now surpassed the Spurs in the Western Conference, and Herb Jones, not only offensively is he getting it done, but defensively, he's a great defender and is going to be an elite perimeter defender for years to come. Herb Jones is my fifth guy. I have him over Cade and Jalen Green right now. That's easy.
Should give yourself a round of applause for Herb Jones number 5 because, I mean, the thing with him out of Alabama was like the shooting. As it wasn't there
I ranked
on,
him as my fifth best small forward in the draft.
That's interesting. Like, defensively, he is so versatile, and he had one game against the Cavaliers where Ricky Rubio got hurt, and they were down early in the first half. It was ugly in the first quarter, and he was, along with Garrett Temple and some of those other guys, willed them the victory. He dropped 26 points. Mind you, he's 23 years old, definitely an older rookie, sure, but I mean,
4-year player.
I mean, Riv knows, before the draft, I was very high on Herb Jones.
I mean, the defense.
I loved Herb Jones.
The thing was, like, with him, the difference between, like, a Derek Jones Jr. and a baby Mikal Bridges was, like, the shooting. And now that he's starting to show signs of the shot developing, he's been working, like, same guys in New Orleans that helps Lonzo and so on and so forth develop their shots. It's looking promising. That's been something he's worked on since the start of his rookie year. I'm sure he's working on in college. A lot of it's repetition and confidence.
My top 5 small forwards, if I can remember correctly, 1 was Scotty, 2 was Kuminga, 3 was Franz, 4 was, I forgot, I think it was Giddey.
That's small forward? Okay.
Or 3 was Giddey, 4 was Franz. It was interchangeable, and 5 was Herb Jones.
No Zaire Williams.
Nah, I actually was very low on Zaire Williams.
He's been looking very good. If he was playing at this rate for the last 20 games, I would have him maybe in my top 5.
You really had Josh over Cade.
Josh Giddey's also a point guard, too.
This year, yeah, he's playing better, bro.
His playmaking's been better. Lower turnovers or fewer. He's creating more, and also, like, neither team has good spacing and so on and so forth. But, like, with Giddey, I'm pretty sure he has more potential assists.
That's okay, because Cade's efficiency has been improving every month. It was that bad month he's had.
Okay, I was actually wrong. These are my top 10 small forwards. 1 was Scotty, 2 was Giddey, 3 was Franz, 4 was Kuminga, 5 was Kispert, 6 was Herb Jones, 7 was Trey Murphy, 8 was Aaron Henry, 9 was Kessler, and 10 was Zaire.
It's actually kind of funny how that worked out. You had Herb Jones ahead of Virginia, his teammate.
Trey Murphy, yeah, who they drafted 17
years.
Yeah,
really?
Yeah.
Huh, I like Trey Murphy a lot. He likes getting summer league. He hasn't really gotten those opportunities this year. I'm intrigued to see what he can do. Yeah, Herb Jones, man, he's been looking really good. He's gone up to 8 points per game. With his defense, I think he's going to be a really good role player. But what's going to separate him from being like a kingpin for a team, like a Bridges sort of thing, is really the shooting continuing to progress. If it does, I think he's going to be in this league for a while.
Who's your top 5?
Number 1 is very simple with Evan Mobley. I mean, again, like you hit the nail on the head. Evan Mobley's winning games. He's been impactful. And with all these rookies, none of them have been like necessarily consistent, but he's been the most dependable presence for his team and the most valuable rookie. The thing is, Evan Mobley's still raw. Like, he has a long way. He can get a lot better offensively. He's shown he can score from every level, shooting 29% from 3, but I think that's going to come along. Karl Anthony Towns, at this point in his rookie season, was not shooting 3s until the end of it. I have a lot of faith in him. Number 2, it's really a toss-up for me between Scotty Barnes and Franz Wagner, but since the Raptors have been doing better, I slightly have Scotty ahead of him. Both these guys this year have been up and down, but with Scotty, he's playing more impactful basketball, while with Franz, he's playing on a 7 or 9 win team in Orlando, which is not good. They're very bad, but I like to think without Franz, they would probably have 3 or 4 wins this year, probably a lot less. You hit the nail on the head with his defense. He's been guarding guys like LeBron. He's had some bad nights. He's had some bad ones where he's looked lost, but he's also had some really good ones. He's shown a lot of signs. And then you said he may still be a glue guy. I almost think there's no shot he's a role player. With how well he processes the game and how well in some of these games he's broke out against Giannis and the Bucks, he's gotten to the rim with ease, and the game to him looks very natural. He's put on 20 pounds or 15. He looks a lot bigger. He's filled out, and his handle, too, is strong for a 6'8" wing player, 6'9". He's versatile. He gets to the rim very well, and he has a wide package of Euro steps, a little bit of a drop step game, attacking mismatches. He's got a good pro hop. He has so many moves to get to the rim to make the game look easier.
But what's a role player to you? Like, Hedo Turkoglu was a great player, but he was a role player.
You did allude to Michael Carter-Williams putting up great numbers, and then he kind of fell off into like being that role player.
I wouldn't say Hedo is a role player.
How was he not a role player?
Hedo is, you know,
In Sacramento,
He was the fourth best player on the team. Jameer and Rashard Lewis were better than him.
I feel like
and Dwight Howard.
So wait, are you saying a role player is
in
a
Orlando,
starter?
he's tough.
You can be a role player and a starter.
Okay.
Yeah,
I think Hedo was a little bit more than that though. Well, it depends on where he
Bridges
was.
is a role player. He's a
Like,
starter.
Orlando, I don't
TJ
think
Tucker is
that.
a starter. He's a role player.
But I don't think in Orlando he was a role player.
Duncan
Peak
Robinson's-
Orlando, he was nice.
Peak Orlando, he was nice. I think he was better in Toronto though, but
It depends on. I get what you're saying.
well, he was more of a star in Toronto. It was him and Bosh, but like Orlando, Rashard, Jameer, Howard, yeah.
Okay.
Like, I think, Franz Wagner, do I see him becoming like, could I see him making an all-star game? Maybe like once.
You're disrespecting him, dude. The shooting,
don't know,
the shooting
like,
looks
I don't
good.
see him making
The
any,
sh-
bro.
Bro, you
No,
think
no,
so hold on. You think he's gonna be as good as Tobias Harris? Tobias Harris is no all-stars.
Okay, Tobias
No, he'll
Harris.
be better than Tobias Harris.
Tobias Harris's perception skewed because of the amount of money he makes in his
Yeah,
role.
yeah, I know
think
Tobias
he's
is
going to
really
be better
good.
than Tobias. The shooting was a swing skill with him. It's looked good this year. The mid-range shooting has been good. The finishing with him has really been what's held him back because he's getting to the rim very well. He has so many moves. And as what is he, 20? 21?
21. He's gonna turn 22 soon. He's actually
Okay,
he was
okay.
an older rookie.
Yeah, because he spent 2 years in Michigan, right?
No.
Yeah,
No, he didn't.
yeah, he did.
He did.
How many years was it then?
Oh.
Oh, he's actually 20. My fault. He turns 21 August 27th.
With the amount of moves he has in his repertoire getting to the rim, I touched on before, he makes it look very easy. It's just been him finishing. The moves are great. And I think being so young, as he gets adjusted to the physicality, he's put on weight, he's a good athlete, or better than at least people expected, I think. Dude, he's got a good frame, good size, a wide skill set. And I think it's really only a matter of time. I think 3 or 4 years from now, we're going to look at him as one of the best two-way wing players in the game. He's going to be scoring a lot of points. The three-point shooting is going to come along. He's really good without the ball in his hands as a cutter, relocator. He's good in the pick and roll. Can make a wide range of passes as well. Throwing lobs to Wendell and those boys.
So
I think he's going to be an all-star a few times at least.
at 20 years old, Tobias Harris averaged 17 and 8 in Orlando.
But look at Tobias's game, though. Tobias, as a playmaker, especially now, a lot of his decisions are slow. And as the passing of Tobias is behind.
I feel you. I'm just saying you can be a Tobias Harris level player and not be an all-star.
But that's not the thing. Tobias's defense is worse. The passing's worse. The scoring as well as Tobias. He's dynamic in the sense he could create offense as a three-point shooter. He could put the ball in.
I'm weary on Franz. I think he's going to be a very good player for 10 plus years. But I'm weary on saying he's going to be
Why, though?
this all because
What
he's
is it?
just on such a bad team.
But that's the thing. With no spacing and no shooting around him, he's been the one outside of Cole Anthony.
And Cole Anthony has
Wendell.
been hurt too. So it's
Yeah, but-
upped his volume.
But that's not the thing, though. It's how he looks. You have to analyze the way
Eye
he's
test.
played.
Talk to him.
The
Talk to
way
him.
he's getting to the again, it's
Talk
the
to him,
finishing.
John.
If he's finishing, he's scoring 20 points a game
But he's
as
not.
a rookie. That's the thing, though. He's young. It's really the moves with him. He makes the game look easy in the way he processes things at a young age.
Yeah, you're pretty down on him and you're a Giddey fan. His efficiency stinks.
I mean, Giddey's 18, bro.
Franz is 2 years older.
That's a big difference in basketball talk.
I mean, dude.
Yeah, what do you mean, dude? It's a big difference.
2 years.
That's the
In the grand
that's the difference
scheme
between
of
28 and
What does
30.
age
In
have
the
to do with
grand
hitting
scheme
open
of
shots?
Giddey's better at everything else than Franz, bro. Outside of
Scoring,
Right, yeah,
defense,
fine,
defensively is more
Wait,
versatile.
I like Franz, bro. I'm not saying I don't like Franz, but
hate
I just don't see him being like a superstar
But what
okay,
does
that's fair.
or like a
wait.
high level all star. Like, can I see him making an all star game like Goran Dragic did?
No, that's
Yeah.
not the thing. He can put up 22, 23 points a game as the shooting stuff progresses. Again, this is on a bad team that's holding him back because the ball movement's bad.
You say it's holding him back, but if he was drafted to a good team, what is he doing?
That's not the thing. It's hard.
He's averaging like 11.
You don't
you-
think he can impact a good
Joel.
team?
Yeah, he
I'll put it
can,
like
but he's
this.
averaging 11.
Imagine being drafted into the NBA on a team with no floor spacing, not much shooting, and very little ball movement, and you're the one guy that
And a new
moves very
coach.
well without the ball in his hands. A coach that's figuring out what's going on, and he's not really setting up Franz the way a veteran coach would. And with all that in mind, he's scoring well, efficiently compared to these other rookies. And people thought he was going to be a glue guy. No, he's filled out. He's gotten stronger. He's bigger. He's more athletic than people realize. But really, the thing with him,
you know who you just described to me?
Oh.
Kyle Kuzma rookie year.
That's not the thing, though. Kyle Kuzma
did not 16.
It's the intangible. It's the intangible traits with Franz. Like with Kuzma, he did not process the game and the speed of it as well as Franz.
But he averaged 19 and 5.
I don't care about the numbers. I actually literally do not care about the numbers at all, Joel. I could care less. It's about how he looks on the floor, which is so important.
So you're making a bet with me right now that Franz Wagner is going to be, by what year is he going to be an All-Star?
The fact you said Goran Dragic was kind of like a shot, like, oh, he can be a one-time All-Star. I think this guy can be a 4 or 5-time All-Star if he develops his shooting, because that is a swing skill, again, that's come along. It looks good. He's a multifaceted scorer that can score from so many different ways.
So you think he's going to be Orlando's best player?
It's interesting.
So how can you not just say yes? They're going
to have a top 3 pick in this year's draft, bro. What do you think?
In order for Franz to be an All-Star, he has to be better than that top pick.
What?
I don't know about that one.
How is he not supposed to be better than him?
I wouldn't say two people can make an All-Star game on the same team,
bro. Desmond Bane is a really good player. He's not going to be an All-Star. He'll probably never make an All-Star in his career.
Well, Desmond Bane's also 3.5 years older than Franz.
That don't matter though. Like,
you just said Giddey was 18 to 20.
We know.
Yeah, but I'm just saying. If Franz is on a very good team, he's not doing this, bro. That's why I have to take a little bit away. Like Evan Mobley, yeah, I look at him and like as a rookie, he's doing this and impacting winning.
But what if
you don't think Franz can average 10 points and have the defense on a winning team?
Yes, but 10 points is not a 4-time, 5-time All-Star.
This is rookie year, though. He's saying down the line.
I never said. I think Franz is going to be a good player for 10-plus years. I don't see multiple-time All-Star.
He has the star skills and intangible characteristics. Getting
I just
to the
think
rim
you like white players that overexceed expectations.
I acknowledge them because I watched their game. I watched them play.
Because you came on here talking about John Conchar. Now you're like Franz is a 5-time All-Star. I just feel like
John
I don't know.
Conchar has my name. How many Johns are in the NBA? There's actually a couple. But
so what? Do you have a player, an NBA comp for?
Franz Wagner?
Yeah.
It's tough because like his game is really getting to the rim.
Why do you never answer questions like just? Why is it always got to be a?
Off the top of my head, I mean, I'm thinking. That's why on the spot. I think of a two-way wing that can defend at a high level on the perimeter is versatile.
Chandler Parsons?
No, because he could score a lot better. Chandler Parsons was a 3-and-D player. This is a guy who can get to the rim at will, is good in transition, and is also capable as a forward at 6'9" of putting the ball on the floor.
I'm here with you, bro. I'm here with you.
Because you said multiple-time All-Star.
I think the shot creation tendencies, I don't think it's on Paul George's level, but I see shades of Paul George in this game.
Whoa!
No, the two-way play at his size at 6'8".
Bro, come on.
He doesn't have the athleticism or the shot creating tendencies, but the ability to get to the rim.
See, this is the difference. I'm at Tobias Harris, bro, and you're at Paul George.
No, you didn't listen to what I said. Shades of Paul George's game. Shades of it.
I said, who's the player comp? You threw out Paul George.
No, because I'm on the spot. I'm just spitballing. I'm laying out his game because for some people they're looking merely at, we're talking about the rookie of the year ladder, so the stats are important. But we're just merely looking at the stats. I'm trying to say he has the characteristics of a Paul George type player. Where he's a two-way wing that can defend at a high level, is versatile, and has the size as well, and can get to the rim. I'm not saying again. You didn't listen to me. Paul George.
Paul George is a multiple-time All-Star. So if you think Franz can get there, you said that.
Paul George is a very capable playmaker that can put the ball on the floor out of the pick and roll. Franz can do that as a shooter. What can Paul George do?
Wait. What can Franz do?
I'm saying he's one of the best shooters in the NBA scene. Franz is a good shooter for a rookie. It's not like it's a swing skill, small sample, but like the shot looks good. And again, with little space, he's been shooting.
But you know, Paul George has like everything, like off the dribble shooting.
So does Franz can do a little bit of everything as well. But it's like his ability to get to the rim is very, very good. He defends very well for his age. And then also like considering the fact he's a rookie on a bad NBA team. And you're kind of like taking all the stuff away from him, the numbers, because he's on a bad team.
No, I'm not even worried about his numbers.
Speaks, I'm talking about to Joel. It's more so a testament to how well he's fit in on a bad team and how he stood out being so valuable to them. Like, if you take Franz off this team, I don't think Magic fans want to watch a single Orlando game, especially when Cole Anthony's out.
I mean, it's not that. It's that I scouted him, and I didn't think he was going to be a star.
So, well, he's not the player at Michigan you were watching. It's a different player now.
I know he's not the player. And
you've seen him play this year.
Yeah, of course.
You've seen him play.
When they made the draft pick, I said this was a good pick.
All of us did. Everyone did.
Everybody did not think it.
We were all wrong.
No, it wasn't.
No one thought he was going to be a star.
When he first, it's not about that. It's not about that. When he first got drafted, everybody praised the Suggs pick, and everybody was kind of sorrowed down about the Franz pick. I know that's how it was. That's how it was after the draft. He's exceeded everybody's expectations. That's for sure. But I don't see him becoming a multiple-time All-Star. I don't. You see that. I think he's going to be someone who he might make an All-Star game, maybe one time, but I don't see multiple time. I don't think he's going to be a top 5 small forward in the NBA in his prime, bro.
It's a deep possession, so I don't know about that. I think
how many small forwards make the All-Star game?
I mean, there's more front court players and back court players in the All-Star game. And also a lot of them are in their prime right now that won't be in the league.
But you have to also account for all forwards, not just small forwards and power forwards.
I mean, the power forward position is not at the top. The top
it's declining, but there are players that list as power forward that really aren't power forwards.
Giving it back to his game, I feel like you're married to the idea of what he was at Michigan, but he's gotten bigger and stronger and filled out his frame since then. It's almost like, I'm not comparing him to Giannis, but like if you looked at Giannis in year 1 and compared him to year 4, it's 2 different players.
You know what you sound like right now to me? You sound like Raptors fans that try to convince everybody that Scotty's going to be Giannis.
I'm not saying it's going to be Giannis. I'm saying this can be a 3-4-time All-Star easily. If he develops his three-point shooting further, again, he can create for himself and his teammates. He moves very well without the ball. He defends well. What can he not do well is what I'm asking you.
I just think the load he's been giving on Orlando is...
What does he not do well? What does he not do well?
He does everything
exactly
well.
And
that doesn't mean he's an all-star though.
But he's gotten better. The shooting is I said 4 times.
I know you're saying he's gotten better. I know that he's gotten better, and I know he's a Swiss Army knife. That's literally what I wrote on my report of him. He can do a little bit of everything. His scoring, his off the ball, his on the ball ability, his handle has gotten better in the NBA.
It's impressive.
But because he's in Orlando, he's given more opportunity to do these things.
But he's being set up to fail because of the surroundings.
Not all the time, bro.
The shooting is awful. It's piss poor. It's horrible. And the same thing can be said with the spacing and the ball movements.
But that's not necessarily the case. Just because you're on a bad team doesn't mean you're being set up to fail. Because in the NBA, bro, it's all about opportunity. Franz Wagner, if he got, same thing with Josh Giddey, bro. If Josh Giddey got drafted to a contender, he's not playing his rookie season. Jonathan Kuminga, I felt like, was in a great position in Golden State because he's going to develop and learn winning basketball. For a player like that who was raw, that's a great situation.
He just had 25 too.
Who?
Kuminga.
I have to watch that game.
So situation is everything. For Franz Wagner, this situation was great for him because he was able to show off his ability faster. That as simple as that. Do you think he's going to be better than Jonathan Kuminga?
I have no idea what Jonathan Kuminga is going to be. I'm just spitballing if I say
that.
Hold
on. But we're not looking at stats. Just by the eye test, bro. That's what you told me the entire time.
Jonathan Kuminga's athleticism and all that stuff, he has a really high ceiling.
That's a real Paul George-like type of guy.
Yes.
But the point I was trying to make with Paul George,
no, I understood what you're saying.
Franz can do a lot of those same things. And again, I said shades of Paul George. And you guys heard the name Paul George and you said, oh, no, it's because he's white. No. It's because
we never said that. We never said that.
You did.
Don't play that card.
I said it, but not after you said Paul George.
Yeah, I just wanted to see if you had a person where you could just name off the top of your head that fit his game.
No one really. I mean, I see him as a player that can do a lot of everything, and with Paul George, he does everything. And they're the same size. They're two-way players. Defends well, and he's very young, 21, 20. I think he's got a lot of years to improve his game. And I said before, the finishing's not been good with him. When that comes along, he's going to be scoring over 20 a game while being one of the better defenders at his position easily.
But hasn't happened.
Give us a year. Year 3, year 4.
Do you think I know? Stinks. I'm spitballing here. I'll say 3 years, and then he'll be one of the better defenders easily.
I like that. I'm going to hold that take to you.
I mean, he already is one of the better defenders. I would say so.
In the league?
Yes, but I think JC, I'll let you name your top 5 in a bit. But I think where we're not connecting here is that because you think I don't believe he's going to be an all-star, you feel like I am being disrespectful to Franz.
You're saying he's you can use the name Goran Dragic, a guy that can make an all-star.
No. First of all, the first name I used was Hedo Turkoglu.
I like the Hedo Turkoglu thing.
The second one was Tobias.
Tobias, the reason
Tobias 18 and 8.
Tobias, I mean, his game is very frustrating because it's not as multifaceted as Franz. His game is a lot different because he could actually do things outside, dribbling the ball a lot and scoring a good amount and shooting well. That's kind of like Tobias Saul.
No, I get what you're saying, but those are the names I mentioned. So I didn't mention scrubs. I mentioned those guys.
I think the Hedo Turkoglu thing, I like that comparison a lot.
And Hedo Turkoglu was what? Like a
one-time All-Star.
Okay.
But at the same time, he's putting up Hedo Turkoglu production as a rookie at 20 years old.
Why?
I think
Hedo Turkoglu was drafted to a team in Sacramento who was a championship contender right away.
Yeah.
He didn't get an opportunity to play.
Then they have Pajot too in front
of him? That's
Gerald
better.
Wallace, it's not always better, bro. It's not always better. It's not always better. Gerald Wallace got drafted to the Kings. He didn't play until he got traded to Charlotte. Then he broke out. It's not always better being in the doghouse.
Opportunity is huge, but getting to sit behind players at a high
NBA, bro.
Yes, but if you're playing on the worst offense in the league that has literally nothing alongside you, and they're asking you to do everything on both ends of the floor, and you're doing it pretty well, I think that's a good sign of things to come.
Cole Anthony, he's having a breakout season this year, at least when he was healthy.
Yeah.
What other team is giving him the opportunity to do what he's doing in Orlando?
Philadelphia.
Outside of trash, garbage teams.
Ooh, that's a good
I think
question.
of Philadelphia, Tyrese Maxey.
Tyrese Maxey's doing exactly what Cole is doing.
I know. Very similar players. It's like, who's better than doing them?
I don't think I can name a team off the top of my head.
The only team I can name is like the Pistons, and even that's because they have nobody.
What about not a bad team?
What about exactly? What about the Spurs, who are like a competitive team? He's not playing over DeJounte.
He's not playing over Derek.
He's
White
that's
he's
what I'm
coming
saying.
off the bench with a 6-man for 25 minutes a game.
Okay, but if he's coming off the bench, he's not going to give you 19 and 6 like he's doing in Orlando.
He'll be giving you like 15 a game.
Yeah, but
on a better team.
But the reason why we're noticing Cole so much is because he's given the opportunity to have the keys to the offense. Sometimes it's not always beneficial for a young player to just learn under these vets if they're already polished. For Kuminga, it was great for him because he needs to develop. But for a guy like Moses Moody, I felt like him going to Memphis or him going to a team that could actually use him right away would have been much better for him than being in the doghouse in Golden State.